we cannot underestimate the power of having a space for yourself with your thoughts, because the more you're really connected to yourself, the more grounded you are, and the less chaotic and dramatic those relationships will be, because you're more level-headed, and your energy being good really ripples out and impacts everyone else. Hi, welcome to the Connect with Sheila podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, self-care strategist, and creator of the Seasons Self-Care app. I'm committed to helping you reconnect to your purpose, elevate your well-being, and build your version of a happy, successful life. You're listening to a solo episode today where I wanted to chat a bit about holiday self-care and habit stacking. And what is so interesting, because here we are approaching the end of the year, and it can feel like life is speeding up. And is there time to actually take care of ourselves? And this is a season where, we all always should be taking care of ourselves, but this is a season where it's easy to kind of let that fall by the wayside and then pay for it later. I don't know about you. This has happened over the years, sometimes in my household. And so recent years, I've really spent more time focusing on creating white space, making sure that we are doing some healthy things, more healthy than usual, in order to really set ourselves up to enjoy the season, but also to start the new year in a place of strength and feeling really good. And ironically, as I'm recording this, it's a little later in the day than I normally would be doing this, but I just returned from a beautiful trip to California to visit some family. And while I was there, I was, out enjoying the beautiful scenery, and of course being shifted by the time zone 3 hours behind. So I think I'm still a little bit on that timing. And so the beautiful thing about it, though, is it's so peaceful and quiet right now. Everybody has gone to bed, and I am just sitting quietly while my cat is having a nap on the couch. He's ready for bed. He's one of those cats that doesn't run around at night. He actually sleeps, which is pretty cool. And I know this because there have been times where I have decided to stay up a little beyond my usual time when I got into creative mode, and he's just passed right out, which is very surprising. It's not my norm. I usually love to get to bed really early because I like to be up early. And so tonight I will be headed to bed soon, but I really wanted to put this episode together because I got thinking about some conversations I had while I was traveling with some of the people I met, and also just looking at some of the things that my godmother had been sharing with me as she's had some wonderful experiences at a spa recently. And certainly we all know there's certain things that have a lot of benefit to us in our health that we can hopefully create habits around. And sometimes we just hear about these things and think, well, wouldn't it be really neat to do them? So I thought I'd share just a few things that I think are really helpful to stack this time of year in order for you to end the year strong and really feeling good, and to start the year feeling strong as well. And the first one, obviously, here I am, talking about being up a little later, but getting enough rest. Even if you happen to have some times where you are out a little later, maybe you're entertaining, you're going out with friends, make sure that you build in time to even sleep in a little bit longer the next day to make up for it. And then make sure that during the week you have a really good sleep program put together for yourself. And of course, I've been talking about sleep with my friend Monica LeBaron on the podcast. You can go back and listen to her episodes, but there's some specific things you can do. And of course, our bodies love habitual things because they feel safe and calm, and it makes it easier to fall asleep, right? So that's one thing, is getting the rest. The other thing is thinking about the nourishment and hydration in your system. In the Northern Hemisphere, it gets really dry as things get colder. Even though it feels damp where I live, I know that I tend to need more moisturizer. And so I think about it, and really hydration starts from within inside of ourselves, right? So you want to be hydrating more. And it can be harder for some people to drink a lot of water in the winter because they don't feel hot. So they feel like, oh, it just makes me feel cold. And yet things like tea and coffee can be dehydrating. So even as you're enjoying those things, make sure that you're drinking enough water, and room temperature water is fine. And even a little bit of warm water. It doesn't need to be hot. But for instance, having lemon water first thing in the morning, I like to start my day with a whopping 32 ounce of lemon water, where I squeeze either half a lemon or a whole lemon into some water. I usually have it room temperature, but it is really best if you're doing it warm. So like putting the kettle on and not letting it go completely to a boil, or even to halfway to boil. It really allows for the detoxification process to be activated in your system. Because when you think about it, when you're sleeping at night, your body's regenerating and it's refreshing itself, and it's also shedding some of the toxins, right? So when you have lemon water in the morning, warm lemon water specifically, it helps to eliminate that, and it gets your digestive system going, which helps you also clean out the bile in your system as well. Like it's all connected. You can look it up. There's so many benefits to lemon water. You may know of them already. I like to use a stainless steel straw so that I'm, because I'm doing it regularly, so that it's not impacting my teeth at all. So that's one thing that you can do. Another thing, and you may have heard this on a previous episode where I was talking about really strong nails and thicker, fuller hair and supple, soft, elastic skin. And that is, I use a beautiful supplement. It's a collagen powder mix that I put into yet more water that I have, while I'm working out or after I work out in the morning, another 32 ounces. I drink a lot in the morning because, believe it or not, when you're sleeping, you are, you're shedding a lot of water. Like your body is perspiring. Even if you may not feel it, you may feel cold in bed, you really do release a lot of fluid into the air even. And so it's important to replenish that. And so I like to use the USANA collagen powder. It's beautiful. I will link it in the show notes just so you've got it. You can check it out for yourself. I've really been loving it. It's got a beautiful flavor too. It's like a pomegranate citrus flavor. And so I'll have that. And then what I like to do also, and this is great for hair, skin, and nails, is making sure I take my iron supplement. Now I take mine. It's also a USANA supplement that I can link. And it is something that I use every other day. I've read research that states that when iron is taken every other day, it allows it to absorb better into your system. And then also taking it on an empty stomach with vitamin C. So I'll have that with my grapeseed extract, I'll have my maca powder tablets, as well as, if I have just plain vitamin C, but I'll have it with my lemon water. And so it's a beautiful way of getting that integrated into your system and allowing your body to really absorb it. And so waiting a while before you eat something, like 45 minutes to an hour, to really let it get into your system, which is great because you do want to eat in the morning. It depends certainly on what your goals are. Some people intermittent fast, and that's up to you to decide. I do find, depending on the stage of life that you're in, I'm really noticing at this phase of my life, having a good amount of protein in the morning is really, really helpful. So within an hour, hour and a half of waking up, that's what I'm doing. And there's a variety of things. It depends on what type of food you like to eat. But really, I always think whole, organic, wherever possible, pesticide-free, all of that kind of stuff, really good quality food, protein, and the things that really are going to help you feel good in the morning and throughout the day. And it really helps with your energy. And so on that note, making sure that you're thinking about the types of foods that you're eating throughout the day and the amount of times you're eating through the day. Depending on where you're at in your health, you may feel like you need to have like a meal, a snack kind of thing throughout the day. And that's how I used to operate for many years. And now I'm in a season of life where I'm finding that I can have a really good breakfast. And then certainly after having a lot of fluids, and then I can really, have quite a bit of space before I have another larger meal, mid to end of the day. And it gives me a lot of energy because I'm not spending a whole lot of time digesting food. And I actually feel hungry to eat, which for years, because of my my meal snack kind of low glycemic index plan that worked really great for me, I never felt hungry. So I never felt like ravenous. But I'm at the phase now where I don't even feel ravenous, but I'm like, I could eat something. I actually feel, hunger starting to rise within me. And that's a totally natural thing, right? So eating really nourishing foods, eating really whole foods, eating at an interval that really works for you is very important. So start looking at that, thinking about, how you operate best. Because when you are eating well, it's going to allow your body to function properly in terms of all of the body systems, the healing, the reparation, and also it's going to help your immune system stay stronger. Whereas if you are obviously eating a lot of kind of empty calorie food and, maybe too much sugar, too many refined things, then you're going to see your energy go up and down, a lot more, quickly. And that doesn't impact your mood. It impacts really your well-being overall too. And so you want to be making good choices so that you can have the energy and you can make sure that you're getting the rest that you need as well. And when you're focused, you're able to do things in less time. So you can actually get your work done in less time instead of feeling like you're so tired and then doing things over and over again, right? And so this will allow you to build in other things instead of just, repeating your work. And it's going to help you feel good about yourself as well, feeling like you're making progress. And another self-care thing that I want to share with you, and I'll certainly share more of these things through the season, but I just wanted to give you kind of some basics right now because I'm not here to overload you. But perhaps if there's one thing that you can do, I think that's the key. Think about the one thing that you can shift or take away or hone in on that you're already doing, something that's going to make you feel good and that will elevate every other area of your life and your wellness. And one thing I would say is to really create space to be quiet with yourself. And I've spoken before about meditation is a beautiful way to do that. You can have like a yoga nidra practice, which is like a meditative yoga practice, kind of like a nap, a yogic nap in a sense. And you can do it for a short amount of time, even midday if you feel like you need it, or as like a separator between your work and the end of the day. To give yourself a little bit of time to recalibrate and just to be alone with your thoughts. Whether you need to be outside to do that, go for a walk, for instance, or maybe even just sit in your car before you head into the house if you've been out for the day. We cannot underestimate the power of having a space for yourself with your thoughts. It's going to help you be focused in the work that you do, and it's going to really benefit your relationships as well. Because the more you're really connected to yourself, the more grounded you are, the more energized you enter into your relationships, and the less chaotic and dramatic those relationships will be because you're more level-headed and your energy being good really ripples out and impacts everyone else. So if you're a leader in your business or in the workplace or a leader in your home or just a member of the family, you get to show up as your best self. And certainly we get to show up however we need to because we're human and we all have our moments, but we certainly want to feel like we are grounded and feeling good, right? And so I really invite you into taking that space for yourself and making it a practice, whether you need to set it as a timer on your phone to remind you. You may need to do that because your day may be where you're just like go, 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 and you're not really even taking a moment to think about how you're really feeling, but you're reacting to things all throughout the day. Your life is so busy, it's very easy for it to be that way. So those were just a few key things that I would love and to invite you into considering for this holiday season, a little bit of self-care holiday habit stacking. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. Feel free to, message me. You can also message me on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere where you see me on LinkedIn. And feel free to leave me a message even in the podcast player. Also on my website, I have a place where you can comment and connect with me. So there's many ways. And as you're approaching this season, I really hope that you find a sense of gratitude for where you are right now, where you've come to in your life and in your year. It can be very easy to overlook what you've accomplished and instead maybe focus on those things that didn't get done or that are you may be struggling with. And that just proves that you're human. It's okay. But I invite you to celebrate where you are winning in your life. I'm sure there are some areas where you're winning, and I'm celebrating that for you. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a really beautiful rest of your week. Feel free to share this episode if you felt like it was valuable to help other people get some holiday self-care habit stacking happening in their world. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Big blessings.